Hi there! Welcome to the second episode of the Maiden Academy podcast. This is Two Devs on the Sofa. My name's Charlie. I'm at Charlie Develops on Twitter. This is Mike.
My name's Mike. I'm at MPORM on Twitter.
So, the most observant of you will probably notice we are not on a sofa. Massive thing. So we've just moved into a new office. So that's the reason why we're still packing and unpacking everything. We managed to cram everything into a tiny little van and did about 15 trips. So we're here now.
We did, yeah. Anybody that's following us on Twitter will have seen the tweets about Jeff. Jeff the van, it's Charlie's personal van that we moved down here with. So yeah, we moved in earlier this week. We're down at Bath University Innovation Centre in the centre of Bath now. We're really excited to sort of finish everything up. You can't see the rest of the room, but if you could, yeah. It's not set up yet, but you'll see it in the next coming weeks, I suppose.
We kind of cleaned this one corner of the room, and the rest of it, if you can see around the edges, is just like a bomb's hit it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But we've got a few desks coming in next week, but we're all ready, kind of, for what's coming next, the new students.
Yeah, so we've got 8 new students joining us on the 29th of August, ready for the September programme for the next 16 weeks. We are really excited, actually. This is Charlie's first time, or first time teaching at least.
First time teaching, yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be our first time in the new office. First time we've had 8 students instead of 6, so there's quite a lot of really important things going on, and yeah, we're really looking forward to it. We just kind of initially want to say a really big welcome to all the new students, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. And it's interesting as well, we'll kind of get to this point now where we've gone through this massively long process to get to today or whenever it is next week when we start end of August. So going through the applications, like going through all the massive amount of really great candidates we've had through, the actual kind of whittling down process as well. So we've taken these with lots and lots of applications, we've turned them into a few assessment days and interviews and had some people in. And there's been some really hard choices to make. It's just something I wasn't really prepared for going into it. Well, you just never really know, do you, until you do something like this.
I guess.
But yeah, so we've had like the really high caliber of student applications and from career changes, all from everywhere really. There's not been one kind of target.
No, it has been a really big mix, yeah. It's interesting to say that it was hard though, because like this year has been the easiest year for me. Like obviously I've done this like 3 times now. Well, the first year round, back when it was me and Luke, for those of you that have been following us for that long, we did 30 interviews in 2 weeks.
Oh wow!
Because we had 130 odd applications back when we were funded by the government, and man, that was killer.
Yeah.
Like now, when we do application assessment days with like 20 people,
it's like a breeze.
It's so nice. It's so easy. Compared with having to read like 130 CVs, that was killer. That killed me. Yeah.
But I think one of the other things we've noticed, which is really cool, is that the pickup and traction that the academy is now getting. So we're now getting applications for the following cohort. So we're doing another cohort in February of next year.
Yeah, February 12th is the next one.
So there's applications that we've actually set the deadline as like I think sometime
8th of December.
Yeah, early December.
Yeah.
But we're actually already getting applications on there and people wanting to come in. We've got some taster sessions in November, like getting to come along and try out coding.
Yeah, it's like 25th and 30th, I think it is, something like that.
Yeah. So that's so they're starting to fill up already, which is a good sign, I hope.
Yeah, seems to be going well.
But yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see who comes along.
Yeah, really looking forward to it.
Nice.
Okay, so I guess the main part of today, I wanted to kind of introduce Charlie, I guess, and ask him a couple of questions so that I can get to know him a little bit more and so that you guys can get to know him a little bit more. I'd like to think that I probably know him quite well by now, but we'll see what comes out of these questions. I mean, who knows?
Anything could happen.
Exactly. Would you like to kind of start... actually, no, I'm just going to start by asking questions, I think.
Okay.
So my first one is why you wanted to join the academy. Why did you want to become a trainer?
So this is when I've joined the academy twice now. So I joined the academy as a student in the first cohort in 2015.
Yeah.
But we talk about as a trainer.
Yeah, as a trainer. So obviously you did the academy back in 2015. You've been working since then, and we'll touch on that a little bit later.
Yeah.
But I want to know why you wanted to move over from what you have been doing to being a trainer now.
So as I mentioned, I went to the academy and I spent the last 2 years working as a developer, full stack. And working on one of the products within Maiden, and I've always had this kind of affinity for the academy. It's got a very special place to me because that's where I learned to code myself, and I really approved of the model and the way that it was kind of structured and And the fact that you're learning from industry experts, you're learning from people that have worked in the industry or are working in the industry.
Yeah.
The guest lectures was a huge part for me that kind of turned me on to the fact that once you're in the industry, you don't just switch off to learning. Learning is a part of any developers, or any good, successful developers. It's one of the skills that they have to maintain all the way through their career. I mean, it's such a fast-moving industry. So I kind of was 2 years. I thought I need to get my head down, get some experience. But when the time came to the point where the academy was starting to think about running multiple cohorts and expanding and growth, it was something that I became naturally more and more interested in. It wasn't day one I came to the first meeting think, oh my god, I want to be a trainer, sort of thing. But I just started coming along to meetings because it was something that interested me.
Sure.
And I realised the aligning of the stuff that I like doing as well.
Yeah.
They're very much, I've come from a previous history of running my own business, so it's the startup culture of being able to do a little bit of everything, because it's quite a small team, there's only a few of us.
Yeah.
Was another thing that really wanted me to come link to the academy. But but the idea of forever learning, kind of keeping up with the latest technologies, passing it on, giving back to the developer community was massive for me. I enjoyed the process so much. I don't know, maybe it's Van Wilder syndrome. You just want to hang around university for the rest of your life if you're having too much fun there. So maybe
Stockholm syndrome you've got now?
Yeah, that's because you won't let me out of this room. That's
pretty much. She's not allowed.
I've been here 3 days. Please send help.
Sits in this corner.
The idea of learning is why I wanted to be a part of the academy.
Okay, great.
Enjoying the process.
That's really good. No. It sounds like you're really passionate about it, which is, there's a big part about what we're doing and why we're doing it.
Definitely.
So, based on all that, I guess, what is it you're most looking forward to over the next, just for this cohort? So over the next 4 months, whilst you're learning and training to be a trainer, kind of thing. What is it you're looking forward to the most?
Well, I mean, I've got a really good holiday booked in December. I can't wait. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm really looking forward to. There's a couple of modules in here that have changed since I've been there. Yeah. It's an ever-evolving curriculum. So there's some stuff in here that I haven't seen. So picking up PWAs is something that we touched on in our last podcast, the podcast.
There's a blog about those coming out in the next couple of weeks, I think.
Nice plug, seamless.
Why not? Yeah.
Really excited to see the stuff about that. I've been spending a bit of time picking it up myself now, and it'll be really interesting to see how you teach it as well, because obviously being in training, I'm not just watching the class, I'm watching Mike to see how it goes and then to start building a training style as well. I love JavaScript, I love Node, I want to dive into Node some more as well. Anyone who's worked as a developer will realise that it's great that you've got all these resources to teach yourself and kind of improve your own skill set, but oftentimes it's quite hard finding the time to do it. Yeah. So actually having a dedicated 4 months of learning where I can go through the process and just, I think it'd be great, because a lot of this stuff I love doing it, like HTML, CSS, front-end technologies is something that I'd probably major in slightly more.
Sure.
But then going back and diving back into PHP and finding all these interesting bits and being able to find the best way and the stories behind it that will help kind of make the point to any future students as well. So I think I'm most looking forward to the front end stuff, but then also being able to develop my own teaching style is something that I'd love to come out of the other end
definitely
as well. Yeah.
Okay, so we spoke about earlier the fact that you attended the academy back in 2015 when we started. One of my first students. Yeah. Bit scary, I guess. Yeah. So what was your favourite part about that academy? In contrast to what you're looking forward to about this one, I guess.
Well, I had this really nice holiday booked at the end of it. No.
It's just all about holidays, really.
No, my favourite part of the original academy, I don't know, it's really hard to put my finger on what it actually was, because the whole experience is you get these certain things in your life that you really sort of enjoy this period of time, because it's something where you can concentrate and focus solely on one thing. Yeah. For that, I kind of put the rest of my life on hold and was like, I want to learn to code. So it's kind of, I'm giving up everything, really going at it and picking up, and the learning, I managed to get myself into a learning mindset, which is the state I enjoy being in.
I think that's really important for being in the academy.
Because you get out of it what you put into it, so if you're willing to put in the time and the effort, so it's the pulling the late evenings if it was something I wasn't quite sure about and I really wanted to make sure that I understood it going into the next day's questions or even working. But I think the project work was brilliant. I think the classic answer to say is the JavaScript game we built.
So many people say that one.
Yeah, that was my favourite module. It was a really cool game that we built. And
that's on the website if you want to go and have a look at it.
Yeah, it was nice to see that actually. It was one of those things that went out and it went live, so I could send links to it to people. Even got a bit of press from some of the local guys in Bath as well.
Yeah, we send the game out quite widely.
Yeah, so that was really cool. So that was probably my favourite bit about it. But just the whole experience, it was brilliant.
Great. Okay. You mentioned kind of having to put your life on hold, I guess, for the academy. What was it you put on hold? What were you doing before?
Well, I had this really important routine. I'd sit in the morning in my pants and I'd play Xbox all day.
That sounds really
and eat Doritos, and it was really hard to put that down for 16 weeks to learn. But I found the strength and made it work.
Great.
It was cool.
Good for you. Okay.
No, I just moved from a previous job. I'd sold a business and I was ready to move on to the next stage of my life.
Okay.
I was doing bits and bobs, but
yeah,
it's having the focus, not necessarily just work-wise, but in terms of putting everything into the process and learning, and it's not switching off in the evenings. It's always thinking about code, because I think that's the best way to do it. Is to really immerse yourself. Like immersive learning is the way that I do it the best.
Well, it's what the academy is all about.
Yeah. So like I find myself just thinking about little problems at the weekend, stuff that I could do, how I can improve, how I could get more out of the sessions the next week as well. That was for me.
Great. Okay. So you mentioned you've been working on a product for Maiden since you finished in 2015. Can you tell us a bit more about what you've been doing, what you've enjoyed most about like actually becoming a developer?
Yeah, sure thing. So I've been working on the CRM system, which is a customer relationship management system.
Yeah.
It's called Orbit, but it's kind of more of a business platform. What it did was it's a piece of software that allows you to run your business. It had everything from task management, timesheets, contact books, reporting. It's got a library, so it was really, really expansive. And what I enjoyed about working on it was that because it had so many facets to it, I was always working in a different corner of the code and addressing different problems.
Sure.
We had a rota whereby you'd be on support of every other, however many, once a week or something, depending on the number of people in the team at the time.
What's support?
Support is where you would answer support queries that were raised by users of the system.
Okay.
So they would be like, and it could be anything from like, oh, this button's the wrong color or it doesn't work, to oh my god, I pressed the button and everything exploded and I don't know where any of my contacts.
If you built that button into Orbit,
it was my first week,
everything explode button. But sounds really good fun.
Yeah. So I was working on support, and that's the stuff I really enjoyed because it was quite reactive. You would take requests, you wouldn't know where they're coming from. They're coming out of left field. There's different parts of the code. You touch most of the code base and have a biggest idea about it.
Yeah.
So that's where you build up your what's called domain knowledge, and domain knowledge is really important because when you go into any sort of career working in a code base, it takes you about 4 to 6 months to get up to speed with the code base, depending on the size of it.
Of course.
So you need to be able to know your way around, kind of like the little roadmap of where you're going.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it. It was great. I had a really great team as well, and it kind of instilled in me the culture, the Maiden culture, which I think has definitely percolated down to the academy as well.
Yeah.
So it's like there's all the kind of the more corporate stuff with Maiden, but I think the actual messages behind that, kind of the collaboration, transparency, openness.
Yeah.
That's really
Flat
important.
Structure,
Flat structure. Yeah, blame-free culture as well. And that's stuff that I felt when I first came into the academy, but I understood them a little bit more now.
Great. Okay. Cool. Right. Well, I think that's all the questions I've got for you this week.
Okay.
So I think we're probably done.
Yeah, cool.
Time around.
Well, if you want to listen to the podcast, find us. We are on SoundCloud.
Yep.
And if you want to watch the podcast, we're on YouTube, Vimeo as well. But it'll be all over social media as well.
Of course. Yeah.
So until next time, hopefully we'll have a sofa.
We'll find one.
See you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.